Republican lawmakers, including House Oversight Chair James Comer, demanding answers from President Biden's physician and former White House officials, with growing scrutiny over who knew what and when regarding Joe Biden's health issues.
We're going to request that 4 staffers that we've identified as the main gatekeepers for the Biden White House, that they come and answer our questions. We're also requesting that Dr. O'Connor come. That's the first step towards a subpoena. These are the unelected bureaucrats that we believe had an overwhelming influence over Joe Biden and could have possibly been serving as de facto presidents of the United States.
Political commentator Hannah Cox joins me now. And Hannah, let's pick it up where James Comer left off. Do you believe this was the plan all along, to put a physically and cognitively declining Joe Biden in the White House so that unelected deep state bureaucrats could run the country?
Yeah, I mean, quite obviously that was the plan. We had a shadow presidency for the past 4 years. I think that was obvious to anybody who was paying attention that Biden was not cognitive. He was not making the majority of the decisions. He was barely operating at a functional level. I think clearly you had a lot of people with an invested interest within the DNC, within the deep state, within the bureaucracy, who knew if they got him another 4 years, essentially it kept them in power. They were able to make a lot of decisions. The Biden presidency was a catastrophe. They seized enormous amounts of power. They were getting away with absolute catastrophes, and they wanted to keep it going. And we have video of this man 2 years ago saying on camera he had cancer. And what did they do? They came out, they gaslit the American people, they lied, they manipulated, they twisted the truth, they spun it off, and people kept going. But I think he's been sick for quite some time. I think he has had cancer. I think he's had dementia. I think he's had a number of issues. And nobody should be madder about this than the Democrat voters in the USA, because they rigged their election. They completely rigged their primary. They prevented anybody from having a say in what happened on that ticket. And so for anybody who's mad about Trump being in office, you have nobody to blame but the DNC, who completely took away the options for millions of people in this country to participate in democracy while claiming that Trump was the one that was going to be the end of democracy. It's wild. It's absolutely insane.
I mean, it's the greatest example of gaslighting ever. And you mentioned the questions that need to be asked, 100%, the people that need to answer them. 5 staffers Comer sent letters to: Biden's personal physician, Kevin O'Connor, former White House officials Neera Tanden, Anthony Bernal, Annie Tomasini, and Ashley Williams. It is vital that we get the answers because, like you alluded to, Hannah, this could be one of the greatest scandals of our time. Meantime, you also mentioned the Democratic National Committee. The DNC set a June vote deadline to remove a pair of vice chairs, with one of those re-votes including David Hogg's position. Well, Hogg not very happy with that, saying the following: if we are to redo this election, it truly just sends a horrible message that we really do not want out there at this moment. And that's why I believe that it should not go forward. It's impossible to ignore the broader context of my work to reform the party, which loomed large over this. I think in that first part of his answer, what he's alluding to is this sense. Now, I get the devil's in the details in this case, but from an optics perspective, to David Hogg's point, doesn't it feel like the Democrats, I don't know, seem to tend to change voting rules until they eventually get the outcome that they want?
Well, they absolutely do. I mean, there is nothing more rigged than the Democratic Party right now. But I think this whole situation is frankly hilarious. Nobody rides harder for old white men than Democrats, surprisingly enough. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. All David Hogg did is come out and say the obvious truth, that the Democrat Party needs new blood, that they need a lot of these very old people to retire. They need to create a bench. They need to start getting new talent in there. They have a lot of people whose ideas have failed to connect with the American people. And for that, they're trying to fire him and rig their own internal elections yet again and push him out. And it's, there's no love lost between me and David Hogg, but what he said was unquestionably correct, and they don't want to hear it. So I think for anybody wondering, when is the Democratic Party going to get it together? Who's going to be their next torchbearer? Are they going to figure out a new strategy? It looks like that time is not coming anytime soon. They have absolutely no idea what they have to do to recalibrate, and the few young men amongst them that could perhaps point them in the right direction, they are pushing out for people like James Carville, who is completely incorrect about his analysis on where the party is and what it needs to do. So it's a problem not only about the democracy aspect and what they actually allow their voters to do in participating to pick their leaders and the people who represent them, but it points to a broader issue. They have no strategy. They have no vision.
I think you just highlighted something, and I think this entire segment highlights something. The Democrat Party is in greater disarray Memorial Day weekend than they were November 6th, the day after the election. And I think maybe a lot of us gave them a little bit more credit that said, yeah, you guys messed up in 2024. Trump certainly had a hand in forcing your hand in that. But maybe they get it together, I don't know, in the first couple months of the year. They've gone the exact opposite direction. They are in disarray. They don't know which end is up. And I think that bodes well for the Republicans in 2026. During an election, a midterm election, that Republicans, or should I say, the party in power, has a tendency to lose. It is fascinating to watch. Hannah Cox, have a great weekend. Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.